us all leave a little earlier.
So, basically,
Okay, thank you.
riding down the street, you see somebody weaving in and out of traffic, flying, trying to get where they go to collect royalty on it. When you see somebody, when you're in addition, you see somebody and you say, wow, or you go on these sites and you see, wow, somebody's just celebrating 2 years and you go, wow, I wish I had that. You could have, you have just left a little early, you quit when they quit. You sit around and wait till the last minute. You find yourself in traffic rushing. You miss so much of the real experience. Right?
Where's 3 minutes?
Can you hear me now? Alright. What? No, I'm still on the freaking, she hasn't changed the paperwork, so I'm still on the contact list. No, I told the little fucker, when he messes up in school, I'm gonna show up in a goddamn dress. I'll be like, hi, Zachy. Hi, Zachy. Yep.
You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. But you already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me. But you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me. But you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken
Hey, what's going on? I'm T-Bone here in the recovery room.
Christy.
And we've got the minister, Sean himself, somewhere
There
in the
he
Zoom
goes.
land. Oh, there he is.
There he goes.
He's got
Hi,
the top of
Sean.
his head covered. You got a flat top.
Sit back.
I think he likes that view.
Oh, see, he wants to up close look at his box like you want yours.
Yeah, living in his own box. So anyway, how you guys doing today? It is Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
All day
August
long.
18th.
Sure.
Wow, almost over. August is almost over, and we'll be into September, and then I'll be telling you it's gonna be Christmas soon.
I think the last show you said it was like July 3rd and it was
Yeah,
going
bam,
to
here
go
we
by,
go.
and now
August
here we
18th.
go.
No, that's the thing about it.
Hold on for the ride.
When you were a kid, obviously that time went by very slowly. But as you get older, or you got more activity going on, or whatever, these years, or maybe you become more knowledgeable, or recognize time more or something. They just tend to fly by, man. And I'm talking about like rapido.
So is that recognizing it, not losing it?
Yeah, I
Losing
mean, you
time.
got no time to waste.
Mm-mm.
You know, I mean, this is
Good grief.
this is
Oof.
it. This is what you got, and it goes by quick. And the worst thing to happen to anybody in this entire life, in this world, is to go to your grave with regrets. Because see, that's the thing, right? They put this thing up. It's been around for a little while now. They call it rest in peace. And obviously and clearly, to me at least, what that means is that when they finally lay your body and your soul to rest, is that you're not in there squirming around spiritually. You don't have unfinished business. You don't have that. Oh, if I woulda, if I coulda.
You're happy. You're to be laid
No,
to
you
rest.
you
Resting.
laid it all out there, man. You did it all. I mean, and it's like a day like today, and Chrissy kind of mentioned it in passing, because again, today was our food distribution day, which is always really great day. And then we got some deal. Sean got some pigs out. We got some pigs out in the country, and
A little family.
and yeah, and so.
Wild pigs, not like police officers.
No, not those pigs. Yeah, we're not in Seattle.
They definitely won't be there willingly.
And
It's not
Sean would have wild pigs, obviously. Nothing domesticated about his pigs.
Or his pigs or his pigs.
But anyway, and we out and feeding the pigs, and we're feeding some kids, and in the course of the day, you've done a couple of 2 or 3 good things. And that's what life is all about.
Oh, there's Kathy. She says, hi,
Hey,
T-Bone. Love
Kathy,
from
how you
Minnesota.
doing? Minnesota, we miss you down here in Sarasota, don't you know?
Oh, no.
Speaking of the food thing, I heard I was watching Bay News 9 earlier, and they mentioned there's another food bank just after we're done with ours
Yeah.
at DeSoto Mall, starting at 11:30.
Okay, good.
And they were looking for people to help out, volunteers. So I'm not sure where they're doing it in the parking lot, but they said they've got trucks and trucks of food. I know it starts at 11:30. I'm not sure what time it ends at.
Okay,
But
well,
that
that's
could
good
be
news to
every
be able to
Tuesday.
pass on.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Looks like Tuesday's food day.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing. So yeah, those people, when we run out, we can start sending people down there. It's a beautiful thing. And so again, this whole rest in peace thing. I mean, if you were to ask me, and nobody has, but I'm going to tell you anyway, what my vision or interpretation of hell is, and what would make me not rest in peace, is when I die and I go to hell, and just everybody I talk to reminds me of something I didn't do. Oh, Jesus, thanks.
So that's kind of like your life is now.
Yeah.
Trash out now.
Yeah.
You do this,
Jesus.
you feed the pig. No.
Put some gas in the car. Like, damn, it's like, so that's hell. Okay, and so my just my real point is that, and we say it all the time, the most valuable property on the planet is the cemetery, the graveyard. We ride by one coming here every day, and it's a reminder to me. You got some big headstones, you got some little bitty itty bitty ones, and you got some that don't have none. You know, there's some stories behind that. You know what I mean? You know, I had a situation with one of my relatives. We had to bury him, and we couldn't afford the headstone. You know, and so they got a spot, but they ain't get a stone. But,
Gotta start somewhere.
yeah. But you know, again, rest in peace, people. Rest in peace. Meaning, get all the stuff out of your system. Get all that stuff that you know. You sit around and you act like you don't know, but you know. You know what you got to do. You know what it is that's waiting there for you, just waiting for you to do it, because only you can do it the way it's supposed to be done. You know, and that's a good thing. You know, take on that responsibility. That's a wonderful thing. And so, if you're not a member of the Recovery Room family yet on Facebook, please go and search it, type in the Recovery Room, and the little guy in the bed, the hospital bed sign will come up.
We can come up with a better name for that guy.
Yeah, little guy in the bed.
Little dude, that
Mr.
guy.
Mr. Discovery.
There you go. I like that. We'll take that.
Mr.
The little
Discovery
dude.
comes up because he's out of the ICU. He's in the recovery room, getting ready to go out and discover
He's getting well.
getting well. Because you don't stay in the recovery room, do you?
No, sir. No,
You
they
know,
put
you
you
hope
out
to get
there.
out eventually.
I visited a lot.
Keep going through there, but hey, you made it out.
Yeah, you made it out. You don't stay there and say, and that's really the whole point of this show. The reason that we come on here every day is just to say to you just that. You don't, yeah, recovery is a wonderful thing. But you don't just stay in recovery. I guess you do. We hope that you do stay in recovery for the rest of your life. But we hope that you would move on to that next step, which is wellness, and where you start discovery. You know, where you start to see things, and because your brain is and your thoughts are clearing up, and you're able to see things in a totally different perspective from which you were looking at it, which perhaps was maybe the thing that was killing you is yourself. You see, we got this thing that we like to call intellectual internal re-engineering. You got to re-engineer sometimes. That's how that's how the Japanese and all the Koreans and all those people who made cars later on after Ford and all, they took Ford's design, they went through it and re-engineered. They took some of the stuff that was clunky and didn't make any sense and replaced it or removed it. You know, they made the pistons a little bit more aerodynamic, slick, whatever the heck
Dynamic.
it is. You know. And so they re-engineered the thing, and then they came out with a car that was far superior to, you know, what they call the find on road dead or whatever.
Find out.
Well, and also remember, like, I mean, look at the Saturns when they came out. Their company's no longer here.
Yeah.
Just because you tried something and it didn't work, don't
Yeah.
fucking give up.
Yeah,
Try
exactly.
again.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
just true.
Saturn's around, aren't they? You know, I mean, just like Oldsmobile. My dad was an Oldsmobile man. Find me an Oldsmobile dealer somewhere. You know, so just because it didn't work, as
Hey,
Sean
Chad.
said, doesn't mean that it's not worthy of trying again. Because you know, the greatest things in this world has happened when that person decided not to quit. When they were on the verge of just giving up, and they said, "Okay, let me just give it one more try." The greatest things have happened then.
It took me 8 more tries, but those tries, once you get that behavior, that once you put your head there, it'll take you maybe 8 or 9 tries.
Yeah.
Well,
But once you're
something
ready,
as-
you'll.
as everybody uses mayonnaise almost every day. Hundreds of years ago, someone said, hey, let's take egg yolk,
Yeah.
let's take some oil, let's take some lemon, and let's just mix it. And that's before we even had electric mixers.
Yeah.
And just whip the crap out of it.
Yeah. And use
put
it on our
put
bread.
salt in there, and then put it on
And
bread
put
for a
it on bread.
sandwich.
And what's bread?
What
Yeah.
you do with that? An
Somebody had
outlet.
to say, I mean, somebody had that foresight. I'm sure they made a bunch of stuff that tasted like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it on there, but, you know, that didn't taste good.
Yeah.
And then one day they
Who's
made
the first guy
mayonnaise.
that ate an oyster?
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm pretty sure the first guy that went and got some milk out of a cow, he did some other weird stuff too.
Yeah, too.
It was Sean.
Probably so. But you know, you talk about people looking at you like you're crazy. How about you standing and you're talking into this little thing, you hold it in your hand, right? And you tell somebody that you're talking to somebody in California. They're going, come on!
Right.
Really, dude?
So here's
Right.
Chad. He said, I missed you all. I'll be back in Florida in a month. Let's play
Hey.
another Facebook show. Much
That
love
would
to
be
you both."
awesome. That'd be awesome.
So-
Hey, yeah, we miss you down here, Chad. Had a show the other day that I could have really used you on, but I don't know.
Where you
I'm
at, boy?
hoping that you're playing up there. But yes, look forward to you getting back and let's doing. I got a venue here. I really need you here. Hurry back.
He said 1 month.
Okay, 1 a month. Hurry back. Make them see how we know how quick months go by, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so listen, and so here we are again. This is Chad, and Chad is up in Wisconsin. And so we've got Minnesota, we've got Wisconsin, we've got my cousin in California, one in North Carolina, and one in New York. I mean, so we're kind of like national.
So,
We get
you
around.
gonna bring us some cheese back from Wisconsin?
Cheese, yeah, cheesehead. Yeah,
You
some
heard that,
courage.
Chad?
We need some courage, Chad. Bring us some courage.
No, we don't.
I was going to say, I don't know if we'll go through with all this.
Yeah.
Oh, Chad said will do.
Okay, and so if you had joined the Facebook family, you would, well, maybe not today, but it's on our title here. You see our title here says, leave a little earlier. As you guys know, each day in the morning I leave, and well, today was food day, but I leave and I get on my bike and I ride and I get my little air therapy and I get some of my best thoughts happening as I'm getting that air therapy, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to start pulling over and writing it down, because some of my best stuff I've forgotten. But you know, if you're riding down the street and you see that person, then they're weaving in and out of traffic and they're flying. What it is, you flying and you're gonna run into a stoplight eventually. But anyway,
I beat you there.
And so the simplest thing I heard yesterday was, it's on you. You know, your recovery, your cleanliness, your sobriety, whatever it is you're striving for, it's on you. Nobody's going to do that for you. And that's just as simple as it gets. Your mother's not going to do it. Your father's not going to do it. Your girlfriend, whatever, your wife, doesn't matter. Your kids, nobody's going to make you do it. You got to do it yourself. Now, some of those people may be instrumental in doing that, but you're going to have to do it yourself. And so today's simple little thought was, hey, why don't you just leave a little earlier? You know? If you know you got someplace to be and you know that during this particular time it's a little bit of traffic, don't procrastinate around the house, jumping around, listening to music, whatever it is you're doing around there, you know, everything except going towards the car, you know. Leave a little early. And so you say to me, T-Bone, how does that even pertain to discovery and recovery and wellness? Well, because
Right.
that thing is a habit. That's a behavior. You know, I've had it for years. And just here recently, I'm finding myself early. I'm getting there before people, and I'm saying to them when they get here, they say, you know, it's wrong if I beat you here. You
We've
know?
been sitting in church and we've
In the
been
parking
sitting
lot
in
at
the
church.
parking lot just early for things, just waiting on people. It's like,
Well, not to
Never.
mention with the school starting now.
Yeah, school
You
buses.
have the kids that just turned 18, that are now seniors, and they're driving.
Woo. Wow.
I'm not even gonna get into their driving skills. They
Yeah.
have those extra hundreds and
None.
hundreds of kids on
I
the
was gonna
road.
say, is there a teenager in a
And
car
then you
at your
got
house?
buses, you got buses stopping, and you got school zones, and all these things you must factor in. That's called a plan. I plan being there on time. Okay, then I need to leave. Let me do this calculation. I need to leave about 15 minutes ago. You know? and then my other, because see, my brain ties things together in weird ways, and so how it tied into recovery
does.
for me was, it's like when you wanting to get clean, right? And so you go and you start doing this stuff, and you meet people that have 2 or 3 years of 4 or 5 years, and you look at them and go and say, "Ooh, I wish I had that 4 or 5 years." Well, if you'd have quit when they quit, you would have. You know,
Yeah.
if you'd have quit back when they quit,
If you would have
you'd
just
have the same amount of time.
If you would've just
If you'd
put
have
it
left a
down
little
and-
earlier,
put it down.
if you'd have left this stupid life a little earlier, you would have that time, and you wouldn't have to rush through traffic, speeding around with all this frantic stuff going on in your system, where all you have to do is leave a little early, drive the speed limit, listen to your favorite music. No, I encourage you to listen to something positive. You know, listen to stuff positive and get to your place on time or a little early. My daddy used to always say, if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. You know?
Well, I used to always tell all my staff, you know, I said, just because your shift starts at 4, that means you're ready to work at 4.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
You know, you
show
don't
up at
come in the
4,
door.
Come in the door.
And then you go in the bathroom, and you're doing this and doing that. No, you're ready to start, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and see, this is the point of this whole thing is that I never want to make it seem like it's easy, because it's not. It's hard as hell. I mean, it really is. But the process itself is fairly easy, because you've got to make a decision, and that's the process. Once you make that decision, the other things will take care of themselves. And as we know, no decision is a decision.
Choice. Yeah.
You know? No decision is a decision, to prolong the agony, because that's what it is, folks. It's agony. After a while, it is no more fun. In fact, I really know and can remember that after that first time, it's never the same again. You're chasing that first time, and you never find that first time again. Ever. You know? And so we don't have time to waste.
Or even you sober up and you come back and you relapse. That high is still not the same. You don't still maybe get where you think you're going to go, or that escape that you think that you're still after. You don't get back there. You just disappoint yourself again and step back.
Well, I mean, and because you know what you're doing to yourself. I mean, you know. As soon as you pick that thing, especially as soon as you pick it up in your brain, because that's where you pick it up first, right?
You mentally relapse before you relapse.
Before you ever
Oh, yeah.
go and poke self or whatever it is you do, you've done it in your brain. You've gone through the whole scenario, and that picture is clear and vivid, down to the blue, the orange thing on the syringe.
A buddy in Texas just joined in, Gary. He's on my page, not on your all stuff. He made the trip with me many a times to go get Shannon up in Illinois. Whenever I got the phone call, I'm like, hey, I got to go on a road trip. He called up his work. Yeah, I'll see you guys in 10 days. I was like, what? Got to go get the kid. And there's not many people that you have in your life that are friends like that would drop if you needed something, they would just drop everything for you. I just want to put a big shout out to him here right now.
Shout out, because that's the way it should be. We are here, guys. We're servants. We joke about this all the time. A certain individual referred to me as, well, why don't you get your manservant to do it? I was considered manservant, and you know, and it was supposed to be a derogatory thing, you know, not knowing that that's, yes, you're right, that's who I am. Yes, I am a servant, and you know what? I am what do you say? I'm one of the not on the clock servants. You know what I mean? I don't do it on any time frame or anything. It's done when it's supposed to be done. You know, and that's how we're always supposed to be to each other. If we were to do that, this world would be a much better place. We wouldn't have to even be talking about some politicians that are running our thing and running our life, because the only reason government exists, the only reason these police departments that they're trying to defund exist is because of our crazy asses. You know, we have to have some force keeping us in some kind of order, you know, or otherwise it's chaos. You know, so I just if we were to treat each other well, if we were to make it a point to treat each other well, I guarantee you that first of all, a lot less people would even start getting high, because they won't have that void of the lack of love and the accumulation of pain. But then a whole bunch of people never stop, never start. But then a whole bunch of people will stop too, because they'll start seeing and want to be a part of this thing, of this warmth and this kind human experience. You know, that you can't be a part of when you're isolating yourself by doing drugs. And you sorry ain't gonna do the drugs sitting right out in public with friends, are you? You gotta isolate yourself. You know.
I was always a closet user.
Yeah.
And,
How many people die in bathrooms and convenience stores and places?
I tried,
Oh.
actually in St. Pete now, there's modes that you can't, now if you actually go and you ask to use the restroom, when the overdoses started increasing, they don't let you use the bathrooms because there were so many happening. Buck says, I am a servant of the Most High. Amen, absolutely.
Amen. Buck, you know, and you know I am too, and my goal here is not to convert anybody. My goal here is, and it is, but not through words about it. You know, the way that we can affect people the most on this planet is through our presence, through how we treat other people. And that is known. You see, you think people are not watching you, but they are. And if they respect you, if they have some kind of esteem for you, they want to emulate you. And so it is your presence. It's not what how great a rapper you are. You know, it is your presence. It's what you do. And so, you know, yes, if you were to be a servant of the Most High and then take, because that whole scenario, right, is love God, love yourself, and love people, right? You know, and again, how simple is that? It's like,
Very
duh.
smooth.
It's
It
like,
sounded
duh.
very-
You know, but it's so hard because, again, we were having this conversation today, and life is all about perspective. I mean, I could take an incident that happened and laugh at it, where another person can take it and it destroys their whole day, just on how they internalize things. You see, I've lived enough and had enough pain, enough suffering and all that to know that it's all just very temporary. You know, the thing that's bothering me today, especially if you are a servant of the Most High, the thing that's bothering me today, I know it's going to be taken care of, and I'll have something else that I'll have to deal with tomorrow.
It's funny you got on that, chatting about that, because I talked to the second favorite person that knows you, my sister Kathleen, and she was being nice, and I'm wondering, A, why she's sober, because she's usually falling down drunk by now, and B, why she's being nice. And but she said to say hello to you. She was all night. Tell T I said hello. I
Yeah,
hope she's doing well.
something is going on. Because last time I talked to her, I was all kinds of SOBs.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is the first time
She
I've
hung
heard
up
it. It
on
sounds
you.
so good.
Yeah, she hung up on me.
By the way, Buck says, hey, Sean.
Hey Buck, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Watch out for crazy sisters.
He's a servant. He's a servant. He's doing good, and I know it is. I mean, and you know how I know too, because you see, on Facebook, right, there's this thing where there's always somebody that's got anything, and they saying I'm looking for prayers and all that, and I would write one word on there, and I do it all the time. I just write in that word, prayers, and I write it in there, and not just say it, but I actually say a prayer. You know, I'm actually praying for the person, and I know Buck's gonna be okay because I've been praying for him, and I know some other people have been praying for him, and I know some people praying for me. There's some people praying for you. There's people praying for you. You don't even know it. And a prayer is a powerful thing, because I
Absolutely.
believe this thing here has got electromagnetic capabilities far beyond anything that we are capable of. Because to be able to hold up this big old junk of clay we got here, dust,
Junk of
carrying
clay.
this junk, carrying this
Junk of
this-
clay.
yeah, carrying this junk around all the
God's
time.
creation.
That takes a whole lot of energy, especially for a lot of people.
When I
Like
was talking to
people.
Kathleen before the show, I had mentioned how, I'm a minister now, and that my other sister Eileen's a minister, and Kathleen was like, well, send me the information I want. And
Oh, no, no, no.
Hey, listen.
I don't think I want that bad karma. I don't want God going, nah, you were doing good over here, and then you brought that over, no, that's gonna nullify everything.
Stay in your
Well, I
lane.
mean, the other way to look at it too is that it's like, damn, you pulled that one off? Good job.
Eh, eh.
Not so good.
But there's the whole point too, right? Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. But the other reality is that you should not show up at heaven's gate alone. Okay? You're supposed to come with a whole posse. Meaning that your spirit, your presence, your aura was enough to persuade some other people that this is the way to go. I'm not necessarily talking specifically about Kathleen. I saw the look on your face.
I was gonna say, who are we dragging to the gates now?
Yeah, we
She
drag
might be
Kathleen.
a, she
No,
might
we
be
drag
a tough
Kathleen.
one.
That'd be great.
She might be a tough one. Can I take a nap
I
first?
tell you what, I'll let her, she can stand in your line, and
Oh,
I'll be
thank you.
telling everybody else, hey, watch this. This is funny.
I don't wanna go.
Let's just hope there's a line. Let's hope there's a line.
So we have to
Maybe that means either you're the first one or the last one there if there's no line.
Oh. You gotta then wonder if you're in the right place, if you wanna be there or not.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
could I watch you all going first?
Okay, and you'll say, so T-Bone, what does any of this got to do with recovery, wellness, and discovery? I believe wholeheartedly, and I mean, and this is from my deep in my heart. I believe that addicts are the strongest individuals on the planet. Okay, especially those that have found their niche, that have found recovery and have been able to stay there for an extended period of time. My 9%ers, as I like to call you guys, the 9% that make it a year or more. See, because most people relapse within the first year, most within the first 30 days, really most within the first 3 days. But that's just a whole nother. So I'm not trying to paint gloom and doom. I am trying to shout out to my 9%ers, those ones that do make it and pass a year and then find themselves rediscovering who they are. And most of the ones that I know, like my friend Barry Cass, who is out there as far as anybody can go, is now the #1 peer counselor in the state of Florida. I saw Kelly, shout her out, from the Purpose House the other day, and she, and she's a leader there, but she was bad, man, but she is leading by example and has got years under her belt, and she's one of those people that you admire for what they're doing, because that's what we do in recovery. We're like Lazarus, we're like Jesus's. I mean, you're talking about coming up out of the ashes. You're talking about coming back from a almost certain death, because one hit away every time, one hit, one pill, especially one of these fake pills that they got out there now, but we're the strongest individual on the planet. If you want to get something done, give it to a recovering addict, because what we've done to get high, we could do anything, and that's the truth. So you guys are tough and you're strong, and guess what? You may not like it, but you don't know. Everybody wasn't chosen to be a drug addict.
You didn't wake up to...
You were chosen. You got chosen. And if you come out of it, you were chosen to be a miracle. Because that's what you are. You look at it, by God, you're a miracle. Because you can take from something that you're ingesting into your system, which becomes a part of your system, and you can take and rearrange that and get over that. That is one of the like, you can make $1 billion or whatever, and overcoming that addiction is not nearly as important, not nearly as difficult. $1 million, getting $1 billion is not nearly as difficult. I mean, so I'm just saying, again, once
when
guys,
you're fighting
it's
for your
easy.
life,
Yeah, yeah.
You're fighting for your life. You
Right.
can always make money when you're.
Yeah, and that's what you're doing. You are fighting for your life, and then when you get a little clarity, you realize that you're fighting for other people's lives too. You're fighting for that scared little girl that that holds on dearly to her teddy bear, waiting for the axe to fall. Waiting for either mom or daddy to come in and the arguments to start and the whatever. And mom comes in and goes in the bathroom, comes out, and every night passes out. This is a pattern. And so that little life is saved because that little life knows redemption. It can recognize redemption. That little life goes, wow, you're different.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Mom, can we play today?
What you do, my mother?
Hello.
So yeah, guys, I
Very
want to
true.
encourage you. I want to encourage you with that thought. Is that and we got a quote that we'll do here later. We do it every day because it is the most. I thank Marianne Williamson. She ran for president. A young lady who ran for president, but she wrote this our greatest fear. A quote, and I use it every day. I use it in my life because it is true. You see, we think that our greatest fear is that we're not good enough, that we're inadequate, that we don't deserve. But the real picture is that no, you are a child of God, and God don't make no junk. And you have the ability and the capability of doing anything that you set your mind to do. Anything. There's nothing that's been done on this planet unless somebody set their mind to do it. What did Edison say? He didn't what did he say?
fail. He said he didn't fail over 1,000 times making a light bulb. He found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Exactly. And so and then you help some other people because you can tell them, nah, don't do that. That certainly doesn't work.
Bye, Chad. Chad says
See ya,
he's gotta
Chad.
go. Much love. Good
All right,
call.
love you, man. So and same thing with addiction. You're gonna find 1,000 ways not to get high.
Well, I was looking at something. It was like, even not if you don't have the determination or but if you're not making you're making the excuse. If you're not deciding to, you're excusing yourself out of it, and at the end, if you're not moving forward, you've excused yourself backwards.
Yeah, Christian and I know my good friend Chad, who was on it. He's actually the sax player in my band, and we've been together a long time. We've been together like 13, 14 years, and that's unheard of as musicians because we're all prima donnas and can't get along with nobody.
You're normally bossy.
Hey.
I'm done with you. I've had enough of you.
Yeah.
I'll see you no more.
But no, and my good friend George, we've been together, and we've had other pieces, but that we have been together. And Chad has had his struggles, and I've had mine, and Chrissy's had hers, and we've all kind of, stuck together as friends through that, and that's that's one of those really wonderful things. And I tell you, I had a period in my musical career, boy, I lived it. You talk about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That was me. Let me show you how it worked. When you pull that up, you pull up my picture. Let me pull that up in the dictionary. My picture pops up. Poof. It's like here's and here's how beautiful and how crazy and resilient this body is. When I stop and think about all the damage that I have done to this beautiful structure that I was given free of charge, it is amazing to be here, sitting here, 62 years old, healthy, playing tennis, living a good life, and was down and freaking out for the count, tube down my throat, gone. When you wake up and you see your mother and your father standing next to each other, and they ain't talked to each other in 15 years, and you see your ex-wife and your present wife. And the kids and your minister and the dope dealer, they're standing right next to each other. That's a crazy picture. You got your minister and your dope dealer standing right next to each other.
Sounds like a bad joke.
It's like, you know, my first, and it was literally, my first thought was like, man, I really screwed up this time. But you know what? I'm here as a result. I'm here as a result because it taught me a very valuable lesson. Because I didn't add that this was my second time ODing in that same day. Yeah, you think you got problems? You think your addiction is so much worse than everybody else's? No, you think you've done things that nobody else on the planet has done? Let me tell you some stories. No, let me not tell you those. It'll blow your doggone mind. The things that I have seen, the things that I've seen people do, things I've seen myself do, but the things I've seen other people do that I would never do. It's like, really? Really? For a nickel?
Ooh. What kind of people you hang around?
Yeah, that's where I was. Is really what kind of people I hang around? Not them anymore.
For a nickel?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Any bit, a little crumb. And you know, and it's so crazy. In the crack houses, the dope dealer used to break off a piece and throw it, and you see people. They were like rats, diving on the floor for it. Anyway, what's Buck talking about over there?
Buck's saying, I just got, and all I have is a bicycle, a bike pack, and 8 other guys that traveled with me. We went around to different churches doing service work and helping
Amen.
struggling, recovering addicts. That's awesome, Buck. Thank you for your time,
Yeah.
everything that you're doing.
Yeah, all that's returned, and it's returned in spades. I mean, and you're gonna go through some tough times. I mean, but you know, my favorite saying, I think it's Zig Ziglar. He said that tough times don't last. Tough
Yeah.
people do. You know, Sean's frees it up for some reason. Is it his computer or is it mine? Your internet connection is unstable. Bro, is it mine or yours? Are you back? Oh, there he is. He's back. You
I
were
didn't know
gone.
he was-
You were gone for a while. And you didn't even know it.
He was, what are you? Quit
That was
being
me. I was
nasty.
dead. I was dead for a while. I didn't even know it. I woke up and had that doggone tube down my throat. That was the most pain I've ever felt in my doggone life.
And it's only pain.
Oh, it's only pain. He's our resident pain specialist here. Nobody's had more pain
But no,
than this
the
dude.
craziest thing is that now though, like, this last night, when I OD'd, I was in the hospital for 45 minutes and back out the door. Poof.
Yeah.
You know, there is no,
No protocol.
we're not gonna stabilize you or send you a counselor or give you any sort of, guidance or, you know, help. It's just, okay, as you were. There's no,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but you know that was they're now coming up with it. I mean they've got some teams now. It depends on where you're living because some of the people took the thing seriously and they got some really good results. And that's what happened in a lot of cities. A lot of cities started teaming up where they were taking out peer counselors with the police, and then when somebody shows up in the emergency room, they don't take them to jail. They take them to a program, and then they follow up with them and so forth and so on. And that's true caring. That's a system that works. And then that's what we have to do.
Not in Manatee County.
Well, it should be Manatee County, and guess what? If it ain't,
It
then you
should
got to
be.
make it happen.
And so that's, again, bring into our community and the focus and attention it needs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, this healthy community initiative, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if we get people where they're eating, first of all, because when you're hungry, you ain't the same. You know.
I've been getting very hangry recently.
Yeah.
When you're
Ang-
hungry or you get angry, and that can be a
Yeah,
trigger.
those are
and
not good things.
you just it's you're hungry, angry, tired, lonely. Don't go there.
Yeah, yeah. And you see, here again, I told you I asked in Bible study. We've gone over this verse over the last couple of years, probably about 17 times. Do you ever get it? Do you graduate? Is there such a thing as graduating from Bible school? I mean, Sunday school?
I don't know. You keep going to church and going to church
Well,
and going
yeah,
to church.
they become Boy Scout leaders, but that's a different show.
I don't
So,
wanna know.
and that's the thing too with addiction. I mean, there's nothing that I have said tonight that you have not already heard in the course of your struggle. And so, you know the stuff. It's in your brain. It is a matter of application. It's a matter of going in and doing that internal intellectual re-engineering. It's like a movie. I did this play a few years ago, and obviously I played the black guy, and
You don't say.
one of the great songs in that play, it was Miss Saigon was the name of the play, and one of my favorite songs that I did sing was called "The Movie in My Mind," and it was a song that Miss Saigon was singing as the fall of Saigon, all the helicopters and all the things that are going on, and she was late to get to the gate to get out of Saigon to go with her American husband, and with all of this chaos going on around her, she was singing this beautiful song about running through the woods and the meadows with you, and the smell and the fragrances and all that. And there's some symbolism there that's important, because it's what we were talking about earlier. It's your movie. You are the producer. You are the director. You're the star.
Go
Okay?
with it.
And you're the audience. How you like your film?
Well, I love the movies in my mind.
He's like, I did a fine job on mine.
Yeah. We're not talking about the midgets, son.
We're talking about playing the dragon.
But yes, what you think is what you get, man. What you think is what you get. If you want to think positive things are going to happen, and not, and I don't want to see, this is what happened. It's almost like Christianity, right? We've taken the thing and people go, Christianity. Or we talk about positive thinking. It's because it's been taken and diluted. Because it is really the way that the brain is intended to work. When you go back to before that first hurt, and then that second, and fourth, and 10th, and 11th, and 12th hurt, you had a symbiotic relationship with the world. Hey, there's one, symbiotic. Write it down. You had a symbiotic
You want me to spell it?
relationship with the world, and it wasn't about fear. It wasn't about anger. It wasn't about resentment. It was about taking it in, and then if you're lucky, you're around some people, because we are products of our environment. Hopefully, you're around some people who are positive, who teach you how to internalize and then dispel. Just like when you eat something that comes out the other end, that's how you have to do with a lot of the things that bother you. Get it, take it in, and then discard it.
Let it go.
Don't hold on to it.
Let it
Don't turn
go.
it, and don't, you know what happens too? What we tend to do is group them all together. Every little bit of pain that's ever happened, every little situation that feels anything similar to this one, they come all together, and all the pains from all of them become one big pain.
Well, and then they just multiply, but it just festers or builds or...
Not necessary, folks. I mean, it's not necessary. And again, I know I'm making this sound like it's simple, and because there's some people I understand that's got some mental disorders, but there's some people who have given themselves mental illness.
All right. I get that.
I'm hoping to get some some
I was
people
gonna
on
say, you were
that.
gonna say on that.
Mental illness is, yeah, it is. There's some people who really have some chemical imbalances in their mental ill, but there's some
Yeah.
people who have made themselves mentally ill by the way that they process their information.
Well, it can, or where you're at, depending on how you perceive it, you either have a problem or you make it a big problem. So it's just, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And depending on where you are mind frame, you can either kind of handle it freaking problem, and it gets sloppy, and it's just unnecessary.
You know my favorite Bible verse?
What's that, baby?
It's a short one. It says, count it all joy. Count it all joy. Count it all joy. Doesn't matter what happens. Count it all joy, because it's how you view it. See, if something happens to you, first of all, you're alive for it to happen to you. There's a whole bunch of them tombstones over there I've been telling you about. Ride by them every day. But count it all joy. You know, say, listen, I was alive and that happened, but nobody died, and if somebody died, then we're going to help. I mean, count it all joy. Find a way to make it joyful. Find a way to make it not something that is festering inside of you, that is one of those triggers that makes you have to go and do something to try to, I don't know, self-medicate, balance, whatever that is. Or avoid, which is usually it, right? Avoid the pain. You know?
Supposedly. That's-
So, count it all joy. That's what I say.
All right. Julie says,
Hey, Julia. How you been?
Julia, Glenn, hello.
Hello, folks. How you doing? It's Tuesday. It's the Discovery Tuesday.
Discovery Tuesday.
You know, and our topic for today, in case you guys are just signing on, is leave a little earlier. I want you to apply that to everything in your life. If you're in a bad relationship,
Getting
leave a
going.
little earlier. You know, you got people that stay in these relationships forever and ever and ever, and then when they're broken and tattered and torn and they're all aged and ugly and nobody else wants them,
Is that when they finally leave?
yeah,
Then
too late.
You should have left earlier.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah. You know, if you're eating too many eclairs,
Put them down.
put them down.
You
Put
should
them
have
down
put it-
earlier.
Don't blame McDonald's because you got fat. You know? Don't order 5 double cheeseburgers with extra
Yeah.
bacon on there,
To
extra
go.
salt and fries, and a Diet Coke.
Yeah, that Diet
And
Coke.
Diet
Oh, no, I'm not losing my weight.
Well, you know, that Diet Coke is a nice touch.
To what?
To say that there's an inkling in you somewhere that you
right.
understand.
Except for when it goes through your body, when your body processes it,
Oh my God.
and when it goes through your brain, it's the same thing as grain alcohol.
But the stuff that's in the diet
that-
soda.
Yeah, it eats away at your brain.
Wow.
That's great.
Well, as you can tell, I don't use it.
Speaking of eating other things, it'd be nice if we did a commercial.
Yeah. You tell the producer,
Hey, producer.
director / audio AV guy.
You got 11 minutes left.
Hey, this dude's willing to work for $10 an hour. You gotta love him.
Don's like, I'm getting paid.
What?
Hold on, commercials are coming up.
Commercial right away.
Right away.
Coming up.
Warriors.com, the website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces and first responders to businesses that appreciate their valor. For more information, go to POWarriors.com or call 336-501-0017. PO Warriors, protecting our warriors that protect us.
Hammock Haven. Spice up your next event with the Hammock Haven Experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
Chillax.
Yeah, that old Nico Farmers Market is open. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, it is a place for small business of gathering. It's not a lot of farm stuff, but it is a very interesting place that has a lot of young startup businesses. And a time during Corona, when we're talking about small businesses suffering, this place has offered these small businesses an opportunity to find a spot that is affordable, that they can set up and own a business. Because that's one of those dreams in life, right? I want to own my own business. Well, if you don't know about it yet, and while I'm out here, and Judy, you can probably help me with, I need two things. They're looking for three things. They're looking for a cheese people, some people that specialize in cheeses, some cheesy people.
Hey, Judy.
Hey, Don.
I need some people. Put that shout out on there. I'm sorry.
Well, no, they're looking for a cheese vendor. They're also looking for like one of those either candle or scented soaps or whatever, artisan candles and soaps, and
Some aromatics.
Aromatics, and a seafood person. They want some seafood in there, some
not-
seafood and eat it. You know? But it's a
I'm
really,
down.
really great spot. In fact, if you haven't come out yet, make sure you do. Stop by. It's open. They're open at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Judy's on. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judy. And I knew it. You think I didn't know? Anyway, we're open at 7 in the morning. Come on, stop on through. The address is
5108
5108
15th Street.
15th Street East, right by State Road 70 in the beautiful downtown Bradenton. Oh, no, it's not downtown. Beautiful Oneiko, which is a part of Bradenton, or Manatee County. But it's a really great thing, and we're going to be doing so many cool things here. They've given Don and I the opportunity to just do media stuff, just explore our creativity.
So Judy says Maggie's Seafood is awesome in both Sarasota farmers markets. So we don't have to reach out.
Reach
to them,
out
maybe.
to her. She's got another new spot now, and guess what, Judy? If you reach out to her, let her know that the first 3 months are free. What?
Something for free?
The
You
first
were
3
talking-
months, yeah, if it's free to me.
Well, I know, but you were talking about what people did for a nickel. Could you imagine what you could do for
Free.
Come on.
Anyway, but even so, it's only $7 a day for your spot. That's amazing. $210 a month for a place that has a built-in clientele. See, here's the thing about it. That's the biggest thing about it. See, a lot of dollars in blood. I've had 2 restaurants, and God knows how much money I've spent on advertising. And so that's not even part of your budget. You got a cheap operating space, and then you got built-in clientele, because people are just gonna come in and stroll around the place and find you. You know?
And the powers are free, it's
Yeah.
air conditioned.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's amazing, and so but it's one of those, if you didn't know, you didn't know that something like this is going on. It's like, oh no, nothing like that happens. There's good stuff going on in this world. I don't believe all the hype of the media and all that stuff is putting out there. There's a lot of good stuff going on in this world, and it's going to continue, and it's going to get better, because we're going to come out of this whole Corona thing, because you hear them talking now, right? Well, the cases are dropping, but there's still people dying, and it's going to try to keep hold on to that little bit of fear. But it's going to come a time when we'll have this thing figured out, guys. Really.
And you can go there, you can buy a phone,
Yeah.
you can get some produce.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty soon,
Yeah. Get you some of
Radio
them
will have this thing
hentai
going.
pants.
You can get some really good food once Brady gets his thing up and going.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah. And there's a little kid zone area in there so the parents can just put the kid over there in the corner,
Yeah, sit.
the kid can play, and,
Yeah, no, it's a really great thing, and it's over a year in the making, and we've been hanging in there waiting for him, and now it's here, and also musicians. I'm looking for some solos and some duos. Don has sent me a couple. I'll be using them. But I'm looking for some acts. We got some opportunities to play some music, which I know you're not getting a good opportunity to do these days because everything's shut down. Well, here's your opportunity. We're doing the Corona concert series. That's right, I said it. The Corona concert series.
so you're gonna do like an
Social
open mic
distancing.
thing, kind of, sort of?
Huh?
Are you gonna do like an open mic where someone can just bring their acts and get up there and
Yeah.
play?
Yeah, or we're going to be scheduling. I mean, you can have. I mean, when I used to have my spot up at the Red Barn, man, there'd be people in there playing music and drinking beer and stuff at 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, so we can have music starting at 7 and going all the way through the night. You know, nobody has really too many places to play these days, and so this is a great opportunity. And so when opportunity comes your way, don't miss it.
And Don and Brady will be here with the kegerator.
Yeah, Don and Grady will be here with the kegerator. You know, and there'll be music, and it's just it's community. And yes, you know, you wear your mask. That just makes sense. We always say I'm not anti-mask. I'm pro responsibility with masks. I think it's stupid. It makes me wonder about people when I see somebody riding down the street in their car with their mask on. I mean, that's not how it works. Maybe that's what you have to do, keep it on so you can remember when you're going where you're going that you have it on. But if I keep mine on too long, I start getting dizzy. You know, I'm breathing on my carbon monoxide or whatever it is, dioxide.
This is my
Well,
excuse for the last
we're getting
2
back to
weeks.
that Earth thing. Disney,
Earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
Hungry Earth.
You've been listening to me too much. Air day, earthing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on Nico's Farmers Market. Check it out.
5108. And Judy asked, as far as vendors and cheeses, and she was saying there was a good artesian shop in Sarasota. We will connect on that.
Yeah.
And then, who is
Oh,
that?
she knows them all.
Andre, he's a great guitar soloist. She was calling out.
Oh, yeah. I know. Judy. I only said that because I know that you know that I know that you know.
Well, I'm letting you all know.
Well, thank you for letting us know. Thank you for letting us know.
Okay.
What time we got? I want to...
58.
Oh, shoot. What happened to that time? See what I mean? Where does the time go? July. It's gone.
July and August and now like September or something. I don't know what's going
July
on.
and August, now it'll be September. Do you remember?
Not really. It kind of went just away. I don't know much.
Kind of shoot on by. Anyway, we're gonna be off tomorrow. We'll be thinking about you and praying for you and all that. And you know, I want you guys to just, you know, make a decision. Make a decision. I'm hoping that you kind of scrolled through and caught these heads sitting up here, especially the big one right here, and just decided to stop. And something that we said on this show today has inspired you to make that decision to get your life in order, to get clean and sober and get all your stuff back. It's like that country song where you play the music back when you get all your stuff back. Well, I know there's some stuff that you don't want back, but those things that you want, get those things back.
Judy's asking about Trump pardoning Susan Anthony.
Trump pardoned Susan Anthony. Whoop, whoop. Who's it? Susan B. Anthony, the chick that was on the dollar? All right, guys. Nobody told you they love you today. We love you.
You know,
Hey,
Sean.
Be careful out there driving with all the kids on the road. Pay attention.
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
away
Yeah, be careful out there.
and left me
Rubber
with
side down.
nothing to
Namaste.
say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
Warriors.com, the website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces.